Yo, what's up? Welcome back. We're here with Mirage, of course. That first map going the way of 9, 16, 14, if you maybe weren't here. And it was ECSTATIC's map pick. So now we move on to what you called now the punish pick. So I feel like, you know, this is now go time for ECSTATIC. Backs up against the wall in a big, big way.
That's it. I mean, statistically speaking, for ECSTATIC, this isn't a great map. I mentioned earlier, for those just joining us, this is normally ECSTATIC's insta-ban. So, for something special, a great start as well. That's an 4.
Lovely frag. Traded out very quickly, though. 4v4, A bomb site. Ooh, pretty vulnerable. They're in there, so it will become a lurk rather than a let's go B angle from Kylar. He's so fast with it. Can't land anything. Oh, that is not pretty to watch at all. And he will go down. That could have been the round, to be honest. That position, they hadn't heard him, but I think he just panicked. Thought that he was behind the trend, behind the wave. Meanwhile, Cabby, he's got a flank, and I think his will be much, much better. Down to just Kai. And they surround him. They finish him off. ECSTATIC, it's a good start.
Needed as well. I think for them, they were in a position not coming off the back of losing their map pick where you do get a little bit on the worried side, thinking, okay, is this entire series now in jeopardy, right? You know, the Danes, they've lost their pick, and they go on towards a map in which, generally speaking, they're not great on. It's 70% of the time their first ban. That's how often they don't like to play it. And in the 4 times that they have played it, they've only won it once. So you do get very, very concerned. You're thinking, okay, maybe this is potentially already a little bit dead in the water, right? Because it's just not a well-versed, well-repped map. And the only team that did beat them on was Namiga, and that was 2 months ago, or just under 2 months ago. So not exactly like they like to play it. But not about start needed. CT side kicking off a bit of momentum up their alley for 9. The positive side is they get a bomb plant, but I like what they've gone for. A low buy-in towards round number 2, so they have a very conclusive full buy-in towards round number 3. So they're playing kind of the more long-term game here.
Manx opens up. Always good for that MP9 to be making some cash. Same time, it becomes a bit weaker in this follow-up round when the rifles will be out for 9. I retrieves a deagle. Can't find anything. So we're on a slow round here, to say the least, folks.
I'll be expecting high octane in this one. There's not too much going to happen. I think for 9, it's a mission of, yes, a bomb plant would be nice, but just make it expensive or get a kill or 2 would be lovely, but unlikely is probably the better way to put it. Sneakers way around. KLB spotted. See, Tudson will find 1. He's also left alive. What a second shot that was. So, 2 kills. It's not bad, right? It's a silver lining in what is a bad situation, and also a little bit of a throwaway round. 2-0 though for 9. A good opportunity and a full buy to come in towards the next, and this is where we get to have a conversation about what they can bring to the table. Up for Tudson, 4 AKs and a good amount of utility, and what is for the Danes of ECSTATIC, just technically speaking, a bonus buy, but they have put a fair decent amount of investment in towards this one because of the 2 kills found by Tudson. So if they lose this, they might struggle economically speaking in towards the next.
Big style, big style. It does set up a bit of a scary prospect. Once again, relatively slow start. Feelers out there. 9 are comfortable here, so they don't want to take too many risks. You don't want to go too deep into the strat book too early. So it is fairly simple. Mid control comes a bit too easy for my liking, you might argue. Still got a fair bit of utility left, despite, you know, how much it feels like they've thrown. So did the CT side, but they have been more conservative with theirs. Once again, very slow build-up.
For sure. Queenix tucked in. Playing a bit of a double stack. Minio's found a gap in the armor, though. Cabby will be caught in towards jungle, and this will change the lay of the land right now, or so I say. Tudson's got a trade. Is he aware? Doesn't matter. Carlo will bail him out.
Absolutely. Solid shots. Bomb has yet to go down. We do have Salazar here pretty quickly. How do they get back in, though? That is the big question. Meanwhile, there's a lurk out towards short. Could find a good pick, a solid pick, a round-winning pick, but it seems they have crossed over each other. He's actually an under, isn't he? Yeah, I've found myself a little bit there. Minio, though, will find the kill. 4 versus 2, therefore. So I was right in the sense that it's a good spot to be in, and that forces the save from ECSTATIC.
Gotta be done. I mean, while the FAMAS isn't a brilliant thing to be saving, it is just better than nothing. And this is what we were saying about ECSTATIC. Because it was made expensive on that pistol on its round number 2. And it could be made even further. Midio should have really confirmed the kill there. Salazar would just about be bailed out. First run on the board for the Poles. They're looking already significantly better. Full buy out and very, very confidently taking that A site. Question is as well about how well versed ECSTATIC are on this map. Just because, you know, we're already saying about, you know, it's an insta-ban. It's not a map in which they like playing, but everyone knows Mirage, right? We know Mirage. It's the age-old map. Everybody knows the util, the executes. So how do 9 use this quote-unquote punish pick to punish ECSTATIC, right? Because they'll know all the lines for the util, like everybody does. They'll know how to retake sides, how to anchor certain positions, how to play off the back of timings and rotations. So what are 9 going to do slightly differently to be able to find success, to be able to kind of use this as a punish pick the way it's meant to be? Because it is the map which everybody knows, like the back of their hand. No one really needs to think about it. Every Facebook, every ESCA, every MM, it's always Mirage. So who knows? Who knows? Right now, I don't think there's too much room to complain with over towards ECSTATIC. They do have some sort of money to work with. Off the back of their pause, though, what are they doing towards round number 4? Slightly lacking in terms of firepower with a triple FAMAS setup.
Yeah, not a fan of that. Not a fan of that. That's a sore sight to see, that, mate. More FAMASs than anything else. Terrifying. But we'll see. Maybe they will indeed pull it off. And this map, I feel, will be a bit curious, actually. Nice flash in from Manx to find Goofy. With the A1S changes, I think that... Alright, I'm holding my point, because we're hitting some nice little shots here across the board. 4v4. And again, looks to be an A setup for that 9 squad.
Slow tempo right now as well. For 9. After losing that man advantage or not having it in their control. Very, very cautious. Double stack here. Midio's got timing in towards mid. That's brilliant.
Solid pickup. Salazar getting aggressive. Trying to get in the mixer. Will go down, unfortunately. Still got Manx, though, in towards that fire box. Tudson, Guy. What are these shots? He's got the bomb as well. He's doing it all. But that will be the round. Queenix has to concede, and you can see ECSTATIC. The holes are starting to show themselves a little.
Minio sneaking in the back lines. I think unless he doubles back, they're not going to be able to get anywhere close to dropping that final rifle. It's only a FAMAS, so in my eyes, I don't count it as a saved rifle. Great from 9, though. A really good kind of recovery mission as well. When it got brought down to the 4 versus 4, it was looking... You know, it was looking pretty uncomfortable, right? Because there was a world in which just off the back of slight errors or, you know, overextensions, ECSTATIC could have made that work. But a lot goes down to Minio. His flank, fantastic. Tudson finding a double as well with that AWP has been on rails since coming in towards this one. And that's where we look towards Tudson and his FBLC time, right? He's been a lot of time in there. And, of course, probably a lot of time on Mirage. And it's working wonders for him right now. 4-2, and he's been popping off since he's had the big green in his hands. All tied square for ECSTATIC coming in towards round number 5 by pretty minimal as expected. A full investment towards round number 4 has left them cashless in towards the 5th. And the only thing they're going to roll with is Queenix's FAMAS, a smoke, and half armor. No investment around it apart from a couple of flashes in the hands of the IGL or Manx. This should be a pretty easy round chalked up towards the T side.
Yeah, not anymore, boys. Not anymore. There was, I think, was I casting with Trav, I think, and we were doing like a few days of the Eliza regionals. And there was like 4 games in a row where every time there was like a force from the CT side or a saved rifle or whatever, they'd do that boost down towards underpass. And every time they'd like win the round because no one really knew what was going on. It must have been pretty fresh as an idea, but now I think it's like, okay, they're on a low buy, guys. Someone make sure you're trained on that angle. And that's exactly what we got there.
weirdly enough as well, I only saw that, or started seeing that boost once the bench got added in. I know obviously the bench has nothing to do with the boost, but I feel like it was around that same time. I don't know if there was maybe a ledge added.
Yeah, maybe. To be fair,
See it prior.
They changed a few things like that, didn't they? Like those boxes, for example, that are over there, and the ramp that used to be boxes.
Yes, exactly.
Kraken on the aggro. Easy opener. So ECSTATIC back in it, not giving up, and they've certainly, you know, got a few things in the back pocket. Like you mentioned, will be the trend. Mid-aggression is not a complicated concept on Mirage.
No.
So we'll see now the pressure and the onus on 9 to show us what they've got.
Oh, for Cabby holding, pixel peek. Kylar had the right idea, not the right execution. He will fall. Cabby, nice pickup. 2-man advantage now held by the CT side.
Salazar on a great little angle. Oh, they're working off each other beautifully there. Fantastic stuff. Salazar will find his frag, and Queenix still sticking around means that they can't really go flying in. So it looks like this round is all said and done. Down to just Hudson, excuse me, and he's found by Cabby. Simple stuff, simple stuff. They get the advantage, and then they crunch in towards B. They read it very well, and again, Manx, big brain indeed. ECSTATIC, though, even things back up.
3-3. Opening kill. Really was kind of the linchpin to a lot of the success there. And I think it's more the mentality that ECSTATIC went into that game with, which was, or that round with, may I say, which was taking mid control, taking early map control, and kind of forcing 9 to kind of rethink and recoup off the back of their losses. That opener really changed the tide. They wanted to be a little bit more aggro on their mid control and weren't giving it. Minia once again testing those shark-infested waters in towards middle. Molotov might force an engagement. Cabby burns down to a little bit. Managed to fall away.
It really is. It really is, you know, a very, 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 very tense game. Moving slowly, you know, no even individuals going for kind of quick rushes. The last round was different from that, but 9 are playing very wide defaults, you know, so it's risky to go for solo aggression. They just like collecting information, it seems, and then make a decision later on in the round.
Yeah.
Bit of a drop fest. Not quite sure what's going on there. All the same. Here we go. Here we go. Kraken with something substantial. Here's the gap. Here's the info. Which way does he go? He's going to choose to go towards A, which is indeed the correct call. And the bomb is very isolated. So there's a good chance he could drop that. Meanwhile, Cabby and Connector here is in for a pretty big fight. Great little angle. He corrects his aim. It looked dodgy for a sec. There is another player in the underpass, though, and that is the old classic. Never expect 2 in the same spot. So trade comes in pretty quickly, but still, keep your eyes on that minimap. Number 3 is what we're looking at here. Kraken. In for 1. In for 2. And that should be the round, you would assume. 16 seconds. Tudson trapped in towards Palace. No time. Does find himself a couple thanks to the lack of ammo that Kraken had left. Goofy. Certainly a goofy fight. But he's lost this one. There's not a chance. So that's unfortunate for 9. They bring it close to make it costly, but they can't get it. And down after time. Unfortunate.
I changed things at the very least. It means, well, as you can see, money's, it's uncomfortable towards 9. I think for them, probably the way they'll play this is just around that 2k mark. I have that money to work with in towards round number 9. And unfortunately for them, kind of extend the lead of ECSTATIC by default. You got Minio. Here a rifle for him. And, well, that's it. You know, you see, upgraded pistols, but you don't really expect too much from them. For ECSTATIC, should be a relatively comfortable 5th to be collected here, and a lot's done in towards that previous round. Once again, we're seeing those opening engagements look so successful for the Danish side, and to be fair to them, on a map in which we expected maybe them to be a little bit rusty on, with the lack of how much they played, and officials, looking alright so far.
Bit more speed to this one as they go bursting out on towards that A bomb site. Execute comes in. They want the bomb plant, and they will get it. However, holding the bomb site, that's the real challenge. Down goes the first. In comes Minio. with that AK. Gonna have to find, well, yeah, something incredible, and it doesn't happen for him. Quite sure. Apparently, I do a pretty good Seinfeld impression. Nonetheless, 5v2. I don't know what that was. 5v2. Bomb's been defused. Goofy with the clock. Nice end to the round. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Walk away with 1 kill on a Glock. Always think about back to the older rank S. Glocks.
Yep, yep.
5 to 3.
What a time for CSGO content that was.
I know. I actually think that may have been the peak. Sadly, it's been downhill since. Old ESL
in a way, yeah. At least competitive content, for sure.
yeah.
We've got, like, skins is pretty lucrative and stuff like that, but... Yeah, Dazed and Steel.
Oh,
goodness
big
gracious.
boys.
Yeah.
Rax as well, another classic.
Yes, indeed, indeed.
Old Stewie as well, where he got his name out there in rank S. People thought he was cheating because of how good he was. Where he is now. Well, no longer playing competitively, but,
yeah,
you know,
maybe don't, to be fair. But look where he was, like, a year and a half ago. You know.
Exactly. For now, for 9, I think they're on, as we saw in the latter stages of Ancient, a bit of a, I guess, recovery mission again. Losing control of the game and just a tad. Of course, only early doors, but 5 to 3. And ECSTATIC, if they make it 6-3, that T-side economy starts to dwindle. Great shot from Kabi. Through the smoke finds one, but Midio once again towards Connector being a nuisance.
Salazar, nice find on the double scope. Really liking this guy. He looks good. He's so composed, and I think he does have quite a high ceiling, so certainly one to keep your eyes on. Has to pull off that reload, of course. Love to see it. Spots ahead. Dodgy spray down, but it's all good because Kai just has no idea. Another one for Salazar. And Kylar will do his job. He will lurk, but unfortunately his teammates fall a bit too easily. So, round looks to be over. In fact, it is 20 seconds. No chance he recovers that bomb and gets it planted. So, and no chance he gets all the kills. So, I'm pretty sure this one's over. ECSTATIC up to 6 then. Looking good. Looking very good.
Kylar trying to make something expensive on the way out. But it's of what? I mean, a 1 versus 2 is doable. I don't want to get ahead of time here, but of course, time is of the essence, and that's the only thing holding him back. If you can keep the AK ticking across, that'll be nice. Don't get caught in transition. That's unfortunate. I'm not actually too sure where he was falling away to. In the open, no man's land. And, well, bit of a sniper's dream there as he gets his head plucked. 6-3. Pause being called, and you could probably expect this score by 9. They have lost control. Carlos only got 650 left in the bank. I think for him, it'll be, well, a no buy. And for the rest of the team, a pretty low buy, as this is already starting to escape them just a little bit. On a punish pick, or what was meant to be a punish pick, not looking too punishing right now. And especially when you look towards 9 as well, who actually don't mind Mirage. 16 times they've played it in the last 3 months. It's, if I'm right in saying, their second most played map. Yeah, it is, after Overpass. So, on paper, this looks like a done affair. Very confident map for them. I mean, granted, the stats aren't great. Only 38% win rate isn't exactly, well, isn't convincing. But either way, with a lot of reps under their belt, you'd expect them to have something up their sleeve. Doesn't look like to be the case right now. They need to turn things around, and quickly as well.
Well, hopefully that's where the time is taken, obviously, in the few moments there. And we'll see. We will see. It's often the T side where things unravel. It's harder to get it going. You know, it's CT in a sense. You work on your setups, you hold your spots, and just take your shots. If you play it simply enough, and Mirage CT side can be that simple. But T side, that's where the real challenge is at.
Agreed.
Again, especially on this map, just the way that it functions. Kai clearing out some angles. Kragan, meanwhile, decent angle for him. Does get smoked off, but he's just got the line. He already knows. 5 on 4. Ooh, a bit of a mess. Auto Director is addicted to Kragan, apparently. He did find a kill, to be fair to him, and follow up, but the bomb's gone down, and there's a few frags, of course, that have occurred over on this A-bomb site. They both retrieved a weapon. Armor for Kai, and shots landing for Tudson. This is doable. This is a half-buy that is very doable. They've got a bit of utility here on that ECSTATIC side. They do have a kit available. Let's see. Oh, Kai! That first one wasn't a heady, but it was still clean, and that is a massive round for 9.
Needed as well. Very, very much needed. They were already starting to dwindle away in terms of notoriety on this map, and they needed just something monstrous to get started into that conversation on what they can bring to the table. And there it is. Fourth collected means death's down to only 2. And within arm's reach, a doable gap to start to close down, especially considering, once again, that janky CT buy. And, you know, credit to Nine as well. Even when they lose rounds, they make it expensive, which is why it's paying off in dividends heading into round number 11. Double FAMAS, Orpem 4A1S, and just a 5-7 for Manx. Kragan off the back of that util, trying to get out the window, but he can't quite find it.
So back to their slower ways on the 9 side. It would be nice to see a bit of a change. Again, even just from an individual, right? Work that B spawn. Go in. Try and find a pick. See how it looks. Because again, as we talked about on Ancient, you kind of have to apply a little bit of pressure. What reason do they have to be worried if, you know, you're not giving them, really? So, yeah, I don't know. I would like to see something just a little faster.
I agree. I really do. Right now, it's so quiet, isn't it? I mean, you can kind of understand if you're 9. This round is so important to really add some fuel to the flames of a comeback head spotting towards mid. The time in nothing else. 35 seconds. Polish side, they've just pumped the brakes here. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be a site where they're heading towards. So I say, Bombers will close up there. Back turn, but Manx will make it work nonetheless. AK collected. This round's crumbling. There's 20 seconds to work with.
Nice pickup from Kylar, though. It just leaves those 2 players on A. Very, 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 very isolated. Goofy, nearly in for 2. Unlucky that he doesn't quite get it. However, that flank is in. However, he can't find any kills. However, there's only 5 seconds. Not enough. Not enough time. Couldn't get the bomb on the site. Unfortunate to lose Goofy the way they did. Now it's a battle of survival, really. Although both sides conceding that, not taking any fights. ECSTATIC, counting their lucky stars for that one. But they answer back fast.
Yeah, they do. Needed. Thankfully for them, I think that was more a case of 9 overcomplicating things. 9 kind of were their own worst enemy, weirdly enough. I mean, waiting to the last 30 to even pull the pin on executes came back to bite them, because the second one domino falls, the rest follows suit. We know how it works, and that's it. I've always never really been a fan of leaving things super late the way they did there. I mean, it makes us nervous, and we've got the X-ray to work with. I can't even imagine what they're thinking in the server. And of course, doesn't work off at all. Nade will come through, will be avoided. Mixed by for 9, or double AK and double Tech 9. Foolish investment. This one falls flat. 9 are left on no economy, and ECSTATIC should be able to guarantee themselves 8 to 9 rounds at the half. Good opening by Tudson, and one more by Kylar.
And another. Yep, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Pick up the pace a little bit. Get a burst going, and you never know how it might pan out. Now, the bomb is annoyingly isolated. Tudson needs to get this trade. Because otherwise, the round gets very strange indeed. Thank goodness there's a minute left on the clock, and they won't be punished too hard. Nice pickup from Tudson. Good control. I think it's really worth noting, we've seen a few across the course of today, how difficult it really is to double scope and flick kind of all at the same time and get the frag. I think in terms of AWPing, it probably is, I'd say, the peak of the mechanics on the AWP.
It's up there, right? It's very difficult to control as well. I mean, you gotta be one with your sense.
Yeah, the sense changes for sure.
Exactly. Gabby, seen off. Goofy. We'll get up an AK as well as a present. Yeah, they only had Tech 9 coming in towards that one. 9 have made something work out of nothing, and it will have longer-term implications over towards our fellow Danes, because they are going to be rocking with nothing in towards round number 13. Should just be a low buy across the board. No, are they forcing? Oh my god, they're forcing. This is, once again, extremely risky. They're going for a full investment into round number 13, and the most they can muster up is a FAMAS. This is so risky, Scriv.
Yeah, it's tough, man. If we were still in group stages or a double round robin or something like that, I'd be on board with a bit of, you know, testing the water. I want to say Bird from Sky likes the forces as well, so it's probably remained. Yeah, it's probably remained from there. I don't know, man. When you've lost that first player, it's like you need someone to pop off here, which could indeed happen. Manx nearly had a chance of doing so there, but because everyone's playing, you know, dead average at the moment, probably not going to find too much from it. Cabby, though, he is not playing dead average. Oh, the flash is... Oh, damn it. It was so good. Runs out of ammo, and Kylar's still alive. Has just wrestled this round back. Kai finishes off. Beautiful stuff. That'll be the 6th round coming in for 9, but that was awfully close.
My God, that open plant was nearly the bane of 9's existence there. That got way too close for comfort. I mean, granted, you can say credit to ECSTATIC for even making that competitive, because it never really should have been. They got, if I'm right, saying 3 kills while full blind, so a bit of luck, but favours the bold, right? So, ECSTATIC, here's where the other side of the sword plays in. Full buy coming in. We said it's high risk, high reward. And here's where the risk is really not going to pay off. Heading in towards the penultimate round here. All we're going to see is probably a minimal, absolutely minimal buy coming through. Especially if you want anything brought in towards round number 15. Which should mean that 9 tied this game right back up. And on T side, to get up towards 7 already, not too shabby. Like I was saying earlier, statistically speaking, I think this was just off the back of the Major in Rio. But statistically speaking, Mirage is the 3rd most CT-tied map in the pool, just after Ancient and Nuke. So you could probably say for 9, pretty not too bad.
Yeah, checks out. Kind of reiterates what we were saying a little bit earlier about the the surface level simplicity, let's say, to the CT side. Love this. To be honest, I'm a big fan of the USP strats.
Yes.
It's just unfortunate they've been outgamed, unbeknownst to both teams, really. But yeah, the A bomb site completely open, and they all moved in through mid and then up connector. And now the snake is on its way. And in fairness, Tudson being the first target could be worrisome. The AWP, of course, not going to do very well against 5 spamming USPs. Uh-oh, and there he spots them. He finds one. His teammate should have it covered. We'll lose another, though. Not a bad little result for that ECSTATIC side. All the way down to the wire, of course. Once again, another 8-7 half, it looks like.
Talk about a jump scare, though. My God.
Yeah, I know, that's hilarious, bro. That's, you love to see it. You love to see it.
Yeah, honestly, good on him for getting 1. Because I think most people, seeing that many bodies in front of you, might have had a different approach. Either way, 9 tied square, 8-7 half. The question is, who is going to be in the lead heading in towards our second half? So far, 9 are on a very good road to recovery. Can they keep this train choo-chooing along? Manching towards Palace, spotting out 1, but not quite lining it up. Just about controls the spray, takes some damage, and upgrades to an AK.
Cabby on the reload, going to go for the spam again. He's nearly on the money. Got to be careful now, though. There's a player that's crept out in towards stairs. He's going to be somewhat trapped, but they actually bail on the idea. Bomb all by itself. I'm not a big fan. Thankfully, no one's on the way, but it does, obviously limit what choices they have. They try and get a player in towards window. Doesn't work. 5v3. Just very much out of options here on the 9 side of things. I think Tudson on that AWP might just have spotted a leg towards the toll booth. But I don't think so. His leg's actually been spotted, and Cabby will finish him off. 5 versus 2. Again, another sort of simple, slow round where 9 have just been picked apart.
That's it. Swinging through for Goofy. Bolt on him. Finding the first. A cracker as well. Flash to give some security out towards A, but it's too little too late, as Queenix will find yet one more. A second of the round. This will leave Goofy all alone. Does he expect that player in towards Palace? Potentially not. Queenix low on HP, but just staying alive is enough. This round should be done in a matter of mere moments with 25 seconds. And we'll get one more, but it's only a consolation. 8-7, ladies and gentlemen, at the half. ECSTATIC a slim lead. Can they continue on their Instagram? We'll see you after the break.
love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 827 at the turn of the half. ECSTATIC is 8 enough. Time will only tell. Of course, their backs up against the wall here. Lower bracket. That means they lose and they're out. If perhaps, you know, you're a bit unfamiliar with double elimination. It's not all that common, to be fair, as a format anymore. 9, meanwhile, this is their map pick. They nicked away the first one. And they're looking pretty good after that T-side.
I'm impressed, right? I think we've seen some real good work from them. Toddson, that's messy. I mean, even getting one there, credit to him, because it looked like he was dead in the water. Kyler needs to double away. The T-side are everywhere. This is already getting quite dicey. Great dink coming through too.
Lovely stuff. Oh, Salazar with a follow-up as well. Massive. Absolutely massive. A great game that he's been having once again. They bail off the bomb plant. What is going on here? Kylar's on the run. Someone had a knife out. Goofy, meanwhile, has managed to drop the bomb, and he's got 3 to get through with not that much HP. Credit to that second shot. But the pistol will go against them.
Well, the dream starts for 9 on their map pick. Now onto the more favourable side in quotation marks in some cases, because I know a few teams do prefer the T-side, and potentially ECSTATIC with their extremely kind of, you know, team play centric, util centric style of play. Maybe the T-side was where we'll see some of their best work. For now, Pisserand's gifted them a wealth of economy to work with. We see Galil's coming out, AK, a good amount of utility as well. 9 is just that low buy as they're flying towards mid. They find anything here be nice, but at range, it should only go one way. All down to 1. Minio, 32 points of HP, and not long lived for this world. 10 rounds collected by the Danes. Very quick, very little to deliberate on that one.
Okay, quick buy coming in, of course, or well, rather early buy coming in, I should say, from 9. And it looks decent. It actually looks pretty decent as far as they go. No kit, which is a little cringeworthy in the sort of classic use of the word. Not the internet version. Either way, it looks to be a B hit. I'm not quite sure what this is. I don't think I've ever seen one of these, at least in this game. They didn't really go for it on that 9 side of things. I think only 1, maybe 2, and it's a quick burst, in fact, from ECSTATIC. Great flash from Goofy. Might have even been a bit of a team flash to boot. That is magic. Written off. Not a chance. And only Cabby remains.
It's a great round. I mean, even from that Molotov to kickstart things, if you fly out window, you get punished by that alone. Now Cabby, who is all alone, would have taken a tag. And with a Galil at range, he's M4A1S's. While yes, it's taking a nerf, should be more than enough to see this one off quite nicely for them. Bomb has been surrounded. There's no way in for Cabby. Potentially a save call to be made here, maybe. I mean, maybe that's not even kind of the worst option. Because the buy can be a little bit all over the place. Could be dropped over to the likes of a Manx, maybe, if Cabby wants to upgrade it towards an AK towards the next round. It's a great round from 9. Against the bonus, they convert it. Now has been spotted out, and you can already see the attention shifting and focusing to try and see him off. A flawless round picked up by the Polish starter 9. And with some vigor too. For ECSTATIC, it's back to the drawing board. Back to square one for them with this buy. I think it's going to be a little bit dicey, but yeah, that Galil being saved might have really helped things. Pause will come forward. You'd assume call by ECSTATIC, and you'd assume by the runner play as well, Scriv, that they're probably going to force because it seems to be something they love.
Yeah, it certainly does feel that way. We'll see. I would imagine the pause, a bit of that will include talk about what they buy. But you are correct. Nothing if not predictable. It is, in fact, an ECSTATIC timeout. The buy comes through. Full spend. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. Dangerous. Dangerous. I can maybe get behind it in some ways on the CT side, but there's all this chatter about momentum and the strength of you know, a confident CT side. So these are dangerous rounds to give away.
I think you're spot on. I think you're all right. They're dangerous. They are. For ECSTATIC, this full investment here. Trying to use the Tech 9 against 9. We'll see if it pays off. Supported by that triple AK-1 Galil. It's an okay-ish buy, but it could be punished. That's an early great start. Quick trade, though, as K will fall. Massive trade indeed.
Let's see, breaking in towards this. A bomb site. Double, triple spray down comes in for Goofy. There's a bit of an assist in there for Salazar, but I think he had it in the bag anyway. Bomb hits the deck. Kragan not ready for the player in towards Ninja. He does take one with him, but they will not pull off the force. And as said, it's massive. They also don't get the plant. So now we're 10-10. And in fact, the T-side economy looks to be struggling. So this is really scary, guys. Like, I don't know. The force buy, I think it might be, you know, the sort of spark that lit the flame, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite concerning already. I think for ECSTATIC, what started off quite well for them. I mean, the first thing I'd probably change, I don't know if you'd agree, stop forcing. It's probably the one for me. I actually went back and had a look. If I'm right in saying they haven't converted one yet. So, I mean, yes, they made it expensive. I don't think the forces are working out too well.
Yeah,
if they just go for those low buys. I think it might be a little bit better, but who am I to know? Huh?
Right. It's tough. It is very tough, right? I think, again, as pundits, we have this sort of tendency, and I don't think it's unique to just like CS or whatever, to lean into the safer plays, you know, and that's what makes the game interesting. People take risks, and players ultimately have confidence in themselves, whereas we, as, you know, impartial bystanders, have the sort of equal amount of confidence in all the players, generally speaking, unless it's a massive mismatch. So yeah, when that kind of thing comes out, when they go for a force, and it's like, I don't know, and they are relying on a crazy turnaround, an individual to go mad, or everyone to hit their shots, because you're on a weaker buy. We'd also say that if it were like a CT side that's like, they have to buy, for example, but they can only really afford an M4 and a bit of utility. That's a similar energy to the force buy that they had there. So yeah, I don't know. In your mind's eye, as a player, it's like, oh, well, it's cool, it's 10-10. That's even, right? Well, it's like, actually, no. You've got no money. You've not been getting any bomb plants. CT side's feeling pretty confident. They'll have a few strats in the back pocket to make sure that they absolutely win this round. You know, you put an awful lot of pressure on this next rifle.
You're spot on, mate. A lot of pressure starting to build. I think for ECSTATIC, they're in quite an uncomfortable position, and I think a lot of it does get chalked down to their slight inexperience on this map. It not being a comfortable selection. I mean, you look back towards the veto as well. I still think it's the right decision. I think because they went for the first ban of overpass, which is definitely the right call when you look at kind of how many times Nine have played it. 18 times they played in the last 2 rounds with a 78% win rate. I mean, that is astonishing, right? So for a side who are a little bit uncomfortable, Mirage actually do play a lot themselves, not exactly a clean map for them. They don't want to take the chance, rightfully so. But Mirage, it's a gamble that might not pay off. Bogdan's Law abided by as Kylar, may I say, will pick up the A to P after takes a little bit of damage to the hands of Kabi.
Rotation of utility here from Kabi. Really lacking. 2 smokes, 2 flashes. I believe 2 mollies. I think 1 went down as I was kind of talking about it. So really got to make sure that these are on point and they're not blinding anyone, you know. Goofy, easy 2k. Still got Kylar with the orb at the back of the site. The rotation's starting to come in now. There's only 15 seconds. Where else can they go? The answer, ultimately, is nowhere. Salazar alone. His teammate far away, and the round will be over unless the bomb goes down. Goofy lurking in, and denies that bomb plant, and therefore the round away from the ECSTATIC side. 9 will take the lead. And listen, I like being right, but not in this way. Let me tell you. We'll see what happens for ECSTATIC in these next few rounds.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. It's the nice thing of, you know, you called it in a way of being right, but when you're watching it happen, it's kind of like watching a car crash in slow motion, right?
Yeah,
you just know this is already starting to fall apart. Pause be called. I'd probably once again assume as ECSTATIC, because where they stand right now, yes, they can buy in heavy asterisks as coming through in towards this next round. It's going to be very dicey. An AK in the hands of Kragan, Kabi, Manx, I mean, both of those two, even Quinix as well. 3k they've got to work with. What do they invest in? Obviously, we know it's going to be a force buy because they love a force buy. So we'll have to wait and see how things work in their favor. Tech9 collected. Maybe, in fact, they're just going to go for Hero AK in towards the next, which would be a real change of pace for the Danish side. It's looking like that might be the case. That is definitely a change up, but a pleasant one to see because they're playing for a more long-term approach and I'm more a fan. But a lot of reliance on Kraken to find some success.
A burst on the cards. First in towards ramp, and then in towards the site itself. Mank's playing his part pretty well here. Again, the flashes not quite lined up. Just don't quite know it. They know the basic ones, but, you know, they don't know those extra level, or they're not reading the setup to figure out where the flashes should go. Ooh, Neo in for 2, nice and clean. Should secure the round off the back of that one. Looked like his position was going to do it just, you know, off the back of watching the minimap, in all fairness. They've got the bomb down, so there is a return on the investment here. No real kills come in as yet. Cabby's still alive, though. Not for very long. So, 12th round coming in. 9 going through the motions and looking good while doing so, man. You know, good against the half, good against the force, good against the full buy. Looking impenetrable.
Yeah. I mean, there's very little you can say on a negative note over towards them. There's some great work coming through from ECSTATIC, but it's not enough to get them rounds. As you mentioned, a bomb plant's nice. Walking over kill, nice. Not enough, though. Rounds not going on the board, and they're starting to quite significantly, you know, fall behind where we are right now. The Danes, a full buyout, but a similar scenario, and one that we saw quite a lot earlier in towards our Asia game, where it's this brutal cycle. Full buy-in, failed to convert it. They're bound to an eco and rinse and repeat, and that's where the Danes are stuck right now. For ECSTATIC, they need to break this cycle, break this run of form, and that's not a bad start. One tap as Tudson will fall.
Yeah, lovely shot as well, to be honest with you. And now, interestingly enough, there goes the AWP, and they do have one on the T side, so could get quite scary. It's a 5v4 with a fair amount of weaponry advantage as well. Kylar tagged up, not finished. Bomb site this is a worse setup, eh? They've struggled against the strong setups, but this is a retake setup if ever you've seen it. And they're a man down. But look, Goofy on the flank to try and steal away the couple. He does so, traded out by Salazar in the end, but imagine a missed no-scope there, and that's got to be the round, but it's just created enough chaos for them to get in. 2v2. Bombs hit the deck, and they're unsure of another lurking presence.
Cabby, speaking of the lurk, making his way through. He's heard the noise. Okay, he just swings. I mean, fair play to him. It works. And leaves it all down to Salazar. They know exactly where he was posted up. Yes, he's got the bomb in hand. 20 seconds to work with in a bomb plant. Minio, his best plan of action here is not peeking, as he will do a little bit of damage, but 15 seconds. He's got to stick. 2 angles to clear. Just play off contact, play off the trade. Bomb gets tapped. 10 seconds, swinging in. Salazar will fall. 9 up to 13. They are pulling further and further away and getting closer and closer to 2-0 in the series.
It's looking good. It's feeling good. It certainly is shaping up for the 2-0. Not been anything too crazy. Nothing too flashy. You know, there was a little bit of excitement, I think, over on Ancient for sure, but in this one it's been a clinic, really, from both sides in many different ways. We've not had too many crazy clutches. We've not had too many insane reads or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool to see. It's nice to see sometimes. I do like that kind of juxtaposition, especially for us on our day, but also, you know, for the viewers where we have a wild game, hard to keep up with, what's going on, but then also we are connoisseurs of Counter-Strike watching Challenger League, of course, and it's good to see some clean CS.
Yes, it has been pretty clean. I think there's been very little mistakes creeping through in towards Nile. I know they had slight inconsistencies over towards Ancients, but both sides were, you know, firing on all cylinders, and it was a close affair. It was just who could get a grasp of the momentum in the latter stages, and it was the Polish side. But yeah, in towards Mirage, it has been very clean from them. They've got a very good eye in about how to play this map, where for ECSTATIC, well, I don't think they're bad at it by any means, or, you know, any chances here. I just think they're not as clean, as comfortable, but so I say. One apiece. Goofy will trade on towards Queenix. numbers brought level, but trades benefit the T side. In a 4 versus 4 fashion, not a bad position for ECSTATIC to be in. The only thing that could hinder them is those double Galils.
Goofy on the spot. There was a player around, but they have decided to bail off of it on the ECSTATIC side. It cannot afford, in their position, to lose a player to a silly fight. I know I talked about aggression, but in the middle of the round, it's very risky. Speaking of, Kale get pushing in, and he finds a big one, man. That is massive. He's in behind. That's pressure. He's also, of course, got the man advantage. That's even more pressure. Out through the smoke they'll go, trying to get the AWPer. He does get caught off. Nice find from Kragan. Actually, massive find from Kragan. The player in towards mid has been heard here, so they're aware of the connector presence. Meanwhile, where is K? Where's he going to pop out? Minio catches Cabby as the smoke goes down, looking better and better each and every moment here for 9. They'll both move towards connector, play around this bomb as best they possibly can, and if they can pull it off, could get a quick boost towards window. That's what they're going for. This is really smart. However, it's been somewhat red. Nice move here from the CT side. Salazar's actually left isolated. Can't get it done. And, well, Kragan, he's in, but it only gets him 1. He kind of needed a couple more. Trying to get away. Smoke goes down. Goofy will try and spam away. Kragan also spams back. He's just buying time at the end of the day, and that bomb is going to go off in just a few seconds here. 14th denied away from 9. 11 on the board for ECSTATIC.
Messy round there it is, but ECSTATIC, I think they needed to kind of get a little bit of control and a little bit of success off the back of Chaos, so no walk away with that one with smiles on their faces, but maybe not so much in towards the next. Money's never really going to be an issue for 9. But where you look towards ECSTATIC, again, a somewhat similar scenario. Galils are going to be a little bit more prevalent as an investment coming forward for the Danish roster, and that's what we see, right? 3 Galils, 2 AKs, over towards the CT side, no problems. Todson's picking up an AWP is not an issue at all, and even if this round goes array, they'll have money to work with in towards 26. None of them already enough in terms of their success and the bonuses they've built up to have some stability, or quite a bit of stability, in terms of their economic situation, which is a vast change to what we saw, or what we do see, towards ECSTATIC.
Execute to come through. Seen it too much out of ECSTATIC, to be fair, especially in the rifle rounds. I think they've had a few half-buy rounds where they went for this. Not really gaining too much ground as yet. Out they'll go. Player at firebox. Spam down ever so slightly, but it doesn't really confirm whether he's there or not at the end of the day. He gets 2, in fact. Salazar and Kragan do very well to battle back in. Eyes on the minimap once again, folks. Cabby's on that flank. Bomb is as yet to be planted, and they are trapped at firebox. Oh, that nade. Just shallow. Could have found the kill onto Kragan, but not quite. Cabby, meanwhile. Timing. Lovely frag. And now there's pressure from the side. That's what they were waiting for on that ECSTATIC side. 30 seconds remain. Hudson's going to go hunting. How's he spotted that guy? How's he picked up Cabby? And how's he going to find this third one? Easily, apparently. Wonderful stuff in from Tudson. It's been a simple game from him. Again, as I talked about. Clinical, easy. That's probably the first flashy round that we've seen out of him. And it comes at a perfect time.
That's it. I mean, for you look towards Tudson, the entirety of this second map is very little mistakes. I mean, he is looking super comfortable. I think this goes back to his days on FPLC, like I was talking about, right? Which is where he got kind of his name back in the headlights with Fantasy. It's one of the more common maps played. Like everybody knows, and Tudson will know all too well about how to warp on it. He is playing very, very well. Looking for more as well. One has crossed, but the second, no idea. Easy pick, Kragan, good night, sunshine. You two will come through, and if they're looking for a B hit, they're out with a Molotov.
Disaster striking, man. Disaster striking. I think the 3k out from Tudson in the previous, it's spurred him forwards. It spurred the squad forwards. Morale is high. And it's showing. And like I said, it comes at the perfect time, man. It really does. ECSTATIC, once again, stuck for ideas, and once again, I don't know, I mean, you kind of respect it when it comes to playing for the overtime or playing for the win. You do indeed respect playing for the win. But another, you know, should they have gone for it kind of force buy? You could maybe give them the benefit of the doubt that this one's been a stronger buy. Nonetheless, let's see what they can do with it. Only 4 members remain. Nice from Queenix, but he's traded quickly. On plant, not really being attempted. Hylar with the double. How's he found 2 there? This guy is crazy. Cabby, meanwhile, 1v2. Plants for short, looks away from short. That's unlucky, and 9 will find 15.
I already feel like this one's done. I mean, we go back to what we were saying about this being such a gamble for ECSTATIC, about allowing Mirage to slip through the cracks. And while I do believe that Overpass and their choice to ban it is the right one because of how strong 9 have looked on it. Even if you look back to the previous season, season 42, in which 9 won Challenger League, one of their strongest maps and one of their most consistent maps was Overpass. So ECSTATIC have obviously done their research and they've realized that the odds are better on towards Mirage, but unfortunately, it's not paid off. I think maybe the slight depth problem in the map pool over towards the Danish roster has left them in a bit of a predicament. And that predicament is now 4-round deficits on the brink of being eliminated from Challenger League Season 43, which is pretty brutal, to say the least, for these young guys.
Where now? ECSTATIC, I think they have run the strat book a bit dry on this T side. So you would hope for their sake that they're not out of options. A mid setup that we've not seen at all this entire half from the CT side. It's a bait. It's all a bait. Kai, beautiful, finds 2, drops the bomb at his feet, and he'll even continue getting frags. Goofy had chimed in towards under, and that will leave Kragan all by himself, and he cannot get anything done. Easy stuff in the end, it has to be said, for 9. Like I said, simple, clinic. We now had a nice little flashy clutch round where we can get all excited from Tudson towards the end there, but for the most part, the CT side was just impenetrable. Yeah,
there's very little you can say on a negative note towards 9. Impressive side. Map depth paying off for them. Strength across, you know, a relatively long series because it was close. Map number 1 being that 16-14. Fatigue does start to, at the very least, play, and that mental game starts to